This time last week, I had neither heard of, played, nor owned a copy of Milton Bradley's 1978 tabletop game Comp 4. However, that all changed when I saw a comment from an industrious viewer like yourself and found a cheap eBay auction. I now have this 1978 Comp 4 tabletop game. Plus, this particular copy has an interesting history mystery that we're gonna kind of unravel and guess at. All that up next.
If you're a Gen X grown-up, this YouTube channel is just the beginning. Go beyond gaming with a casual and humorous take on movies, music, TV, tech, pop culture, and more. Hear the weekly Gen X Grown Up podcast anywhere you like to listen or visit genxgrownup.com/pod.
Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John and I am a Gen X Grown Up. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. I think it was an Atari tier ranking video that I put out a week or two ago where Eric Kent commented and said, man, these games remind me a lot of an old tabletop game called Comp 4. Have you ever heard of it, John? Well, what always happens to me, by the way, thank you, Eric, for putting that in my brain. What always happens to me is I hear about something like that and I go, let's go see what it is. And invariably it's like, oh, that's cool. Now I kind of want to get my hands on one. So I went to eBay and I offered, this had been around for a while, I offered $10 for this one in the box. You'll see in a moment. It's more than complete. It's in the box. It has all the packing material. It has the manual, it has the warranty card, and it has something else that hints at the story of this particular copy of the game that makes it very intriguing to me. It's sometimes the history of a game or particular copy of a game that makes it more than maybe what it is. I'll tell you, the game itself, it's okay. I played a little bit on emulation. I've not played this one yet. We're about to. But the story that I'm imagining around the life of this particular little box, I'll show you what I mean. Let's get to the table. First things first, let's get this out of the way right up front. Comp 4 from 1978 is not a fantastic tabletop game. It's in the world of Mastermind, which it basically is just Mastermind. It's not even a particularly good version of Mastermind. What it does have going for it is all the hyperbole on the box, the over-designed design of the gadget, and I don't know, there's just something charming about this 70s aesthetic. I mean, you can see, now look here at the top of the box, where it outlines right up front how to play. Even before you touch instructions, hit R to do it, punch in your number. It responds with clue lights, correct lights and correct position. That's Mastermind. Find the unknown, it's correct when all lights blink is when you win. And then down here on the front of the box, more exaggeration, 9 ways to play. You against Comp 4. Okay. Challenge your opponent. Taking turns. Group play. Taking turns. 3 skill levels. How many numbers are you guessing? Is it 3, 4, or 5 numbers? That is the 3 different skill levels. But kind of none of that matters to me. What matters to me really is the condition of the box and its contents and the bonus thing that's in there that was called out on the auction page. But even the person selling it was like, I guess this means this? I don't know. Let me show you. Look at there's all the original packing materials. Looks like, I guess, some light water damage. I'm going to say that's really just like, it might be like a basement or attic water, or maybe that's heat. Maybe that's heat affecting that. Whatever it is, and it doesn't appear to be wrinkled necessarily. And here's all the, look, the plastic is in here. It's if you like watching me clean up electronics in these old games, this thing is lacking in grime because it's nearly pristine. The seller said it worked, but okay, let me get this out. We can't dodge this for too long. This is, and in my family, we definitely did this. You get a gift for Christmas, and then you get a small part 2 or auxiliary gift that's just the battery to make the game or the gadget run. And so what I can only imagine here is that somebody got this for Christmas. I'm guessing Christmas based on the wrapping paper. This was, number 1 and number 2. They opened this. They either never played this at all, or maybe they played it with a battery they had laying around. So if they use this battery, well, they didn't use this battery. If they were counting on using this, they didn't play it at all. If they played it at all, they put it back with the plastic and everything just the way they got it. So if it's been used or touched by human hands, it's just barely. So it's not like sealed pristine, but almost. Let's get the rest out of here. So here's our Comp 4 unit. Here is the battery that I shall never open because that's part of the story here. And look at all the paperwork that survives. You have the this is a registration, a warranty card or whatever. Yeah, you fill that in and send it off. So not under warranty anymore. Hope it works. They talk about these in the manual, which by the way, you can download the manual, black and white. Here's the full color original manual. We'll look at it in a second. And these are just like Mastermind. It's double-sided sheets that you can use as you're guessing, and you can fill out, you know, I guessed this, and here are the numbers I know, here are the numbers that aren't included, as you're working way up to guess the 3, 4, or 5-digit number. And there are 2 pads of this, and I'm guessing this probably maybe is 1 pad initially, and the adhesive kind of gave way, but this is just a cardboard backing. And then this manual, like on the box, all the exaggeration. I read through the manual and I understand what they're going for. They're like, well, you guess, and then based on that, the next person guesses, or you guess and the other person doesn't know what your results were. Like, it's just a bunch of ways to a group of people take turns guessing the exact same game. There aren't modes of play. It does one thing and it does it over and over. Picks a random set of 3, 4, or 5 numbers for you to interact with however you choose. Inside, as you might imagine, walks you through, you know, putting in the batteries, all the different rules for the group play, how does it work. They explain, basically has to teach you how to play Mastermind in case you don't already know how to play. And here's how to use these included, that sheet. If you can't keep it in your head, how to fill out the form to guess. So 78, I guess maybe they thought, maybe people couldn't just play a game in their head with a computer. Maybe they needed a scorecard like you would have when you played, you know, a card game or something, but yeah. All right, let's get to the unit though. Now, in case you think you tuned into this video late and you missed the part where I cleaned this up, you didn't. This is what it looks like just out of the box, just the way I got it. The only thing you have an on-off switch on the side here, giant on-off switch, I should point out. Nothing on the back. Around here on the side, this is not a headphone jack. This is for power. If you want to power it with AC or an adapter. And then you have the screen and the keypad. It's 10 lights, and it's a keypad with a reset and an enter, and that's it. That's it. There's not even like a game options select or anything. I'll show you when we play, but it's just a matter of, okay, you type in a number, it'll say, oh, you did 3 numbers? We're gonna do a 3-number game. You type in 4 numbers, it's gonna be a 4-number game. And that's it. Now, I'm told that it works. So I'm gonna put a battery in it, not this battery. I'm gonna put another battery in it. Let's fire it up, and based on the auction, it works. I trust that it will, and we're gonna try to play some Comp 4. Now, before I close this up, I'm noticing the inside of the battery box is the filthiest of anything. It's got this little, I don't know, I think it's just maybe the top of this little vinyl the battery connector, but I'm going to see if I can't clean that up real quick while I'm here. Now, I could try to blow it out with compressed air, but it's just going to blow it up into these little holes, so I'm going to use the surgical precision of Flarp Noise Putty, which should do a great job of picking up this teensy little particulate. So just kind of stuff it in there. This stuff works wonders. I get more comments from people saying, I can't believe you're using that stuff to clean. It doesn't leave a residue. It picks up all kinds of little gunk, and then it gets too dirty, you just throw it away. Let's see, we get to the corners. Pick up the last little bit, look at that. A little in the corner there. Now we can put the battery lid back on. Oh, and now I've discovered what that came from. It actually comes from this worn out, what is that, like a little felt pad to keep the battery from rattling? That's what is disintegrating, so. All right, maybe I can replace that later, but in the meantime. Now, I know you're probably just going to skip over this part of the video to get some more Comp 4 footage. I understand, but in case you don't, I will quickly remind you of our store over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch, where you can get t-shirts and hats and mugs and pins and stickers with our logo, but also all sorts of cool original designs from gaming and pop culture and TV and movies, general nerdery. And you can get yourself a gift or get a gift for someone that you like. Maybe it's Easter coming up, or maybe it's their birthday, or whatever. Keep us in mind. Look, you're going to buy this stuff somewhere. If you buy it there, not only do you get something cool, but you help out independent content creation, just like you see here on Gen X Grown Up. That's it. Please keep us in mind. Let's get back to it.
We got it running. We see that it's ready and it's time to go. So I'm going to try to keep a view like this where you can see the whole keypad and everything and what I'm doing. In a minute, I'll give you a tight shot of the screen, but literally you start the game. How you do the multiplayer is up to you in the manual, but so I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, enter. All right, so now I know one of the numbers is right, and one of them is in the right sequence. So maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, we don't know. But two of them don't belong. So, Mastermind. Reset, which I think is optional. 4, 5, 6, enter. Okay, one of those is right. So 1 from this row. Okay, don't forget 0 is included too. All right, 7, 8, 9, enter. Oh, and one of those is right. So it's 1 from each row. So probably, let's try down this right column then. 9, 6, 3, enter. Okay, it's really not narrowing it down, but here's where maybe you consider using this pad to keep better track. Now I'm just keeping it in my head. Nothing's really narrowed down for me. 8, 5, 2, enter. Okay, great. 8, 5, 2 we know has no numbers in there. So we can use 8, 5, 2 as the litmus test to compare other things. So we know now that has to be 1 or 3. So let's try 2, 5, 1 or 1, 2, 5. We know 1's not included. So now we know it's got to be 3. So if I do 3, 2, 5, one of them is right, just not in the right place. So we know 3 is one of them. So here's where you might come in the pad and go 3 is a sure number, but we know 3 is included, and 8, 5, 2 are not, and 1 is not. So now we can try looking up here. Let's try 8, 5, 9, because we know 8 and 5 aren't. We know it's not 9. Let's try 8, 5, 6. We know it's not 6. All right, we're narrowing it down. We haven't tried 0 yet. Let's try 0, 2, 5. 0 is not one of them. All right, I think it's 7, 5, 3, or 7, 4, 3. 7, 4, 3, enter. That was it. That was it. That was just a guess on the order, but you can see they're all together and they're all done. Now, what do you not hear? No blipping noises. There are no sounds in this thing. As surprising as you might think, I was stunned. When I played it in emulation, I was like, oh, this emulation must not have the sound. No, it pops up and tells you there is no sound. There's no sound chip in it. Surprising, really surprising. So let's try just one more. Same process of elimination. I always start with 1, 2, 3, enter. All right, one of those is right. 4, 5, 6, enter. One of those is right. 7, 8, 9, enter. All right, now we know 7, 8, and 9 are a great test because we know none of those are included. So let's try 1, 8, 9. It's not 1. Let's try 2, 8, 9. It's not 2. It's got to be 3, right? 3 is not only in the right place, but it's also in the right sequence. So we know 3 is... We'll do that first. I forgot. Did we do it first? 3, 8, 9. 3 is the first number. Okay, great. So let's try 4, 5, 6, enter. One of those is right. So let's try 4, 8, 9, enter. It's not 4. 5, 8, 9, enter. 5. Now we know 3 and 5 are included. So we know those are sure numbers. 6, 8, 9, enter. No. What about 0, 8, 9, enter? So what do we say? 0, 5, 3 or the 3? 0, 5, 3, enter. Okay, all 3 numbers are right, only one in the right place. We know 3 is last. So if we did 0, 5, 3 and that's not right, it's got to be 5, 0, 3, enter. Oh, I was wrong. Nope. Isn't 3 last? I thought we guaranteed 3 was last. Don't. 3, 5, 0. There it is, 3, 5, 0. The other way around. I got it. Oh, so it was in the right place, but it was the beginning, not the end. And there we go. It flashes at us. Blip, 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 blip. There are no included noises to go along with the flashing, so blip, 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 me making noises is about all you're going to get. So that is Comp 4. And in fact, I'm going to make sure I put it back in the box, including the Christmas battery to keep this Comp 4 and its story intact for the next person who inherits it from me.
This thing is really interesting. Now, The game itself is an electronic mastermind with no sounds. It's okay. I mean, look, for a $10 pickup, it's fantastic, really. But the more intriguing part is the Christmas connection. What is that story? What happened with this little unit that someone opened it for Christmas and then never played it or barely played it or didn't even open the battery? Who knows? Who knows? But it's having something like this with a story attached to it, even if it's one we just kind of deduce and make up in our head, makes it kind of greater than the sum of its parts and kind of what it actually is as a Mastermind clone coming from all the way back in 1978. I don't know. I love it. It's not going anywhere. I'm not reselling it. Comp 4. Thanks, Eric. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Of course, I'll put links to other thrift store and vintage finds here and here over my shoulders for you to check out. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.